it's a whole different world. I don't know even how to explain it, but you feel so proud, so good about what you've accomplished, and then there's nothing. You feel like there's no stopping you.
What's the difference between a Jew and an Israelite and a Hebrew? Okay, so again, these questions are depending who's asking. Now, if you are a Jew or someone that loves the Jewish people and you're simply trying to educate yourself, there is one answer. If you are an enemy of the Jews and claim that you are the real Jew, then the answer is different. And for the sake of just doing it at least once, I'll do this. I'll explain to you. If you're a Jew or a lover of the Jews and you're looking for the truth of what it actually means, Hebrews are what were the Avraham Avinu was called. Abraham was a Hebrew. Why was he called a Hebrew? Because he was a monotheist. He was the only one that believed in God, and everyone else was an idol worshiper. So he was in one ever, one side, and the rest of the world were idol worshippers. Okay? Now, Avraham had a son who was Yitzchak, and Yitzchak had a son who was Yaakov. Yaakov was renamed by God to also have the name Israel. So, and all of his children and descendants were called Israelites. Why? Because his name was Israel, and therefore his children are called Israelites. Now, this continued until we got to Mount Sinai. Once we got to Mount Sinai, meaning until then, we were originally Hebrews. At the time of Avraham, at the time of Yitzchak, we were Hebrews. Then, at the time of Yaakov, the grandson of Avraham, now it changed to Israelites. Same exact people, just we've progressed. Now we have, in essence, a new name, a new brand for the chosen people, a new brand for the people that are serving God and following His Torah. But then when we got to Mount Sinai, once we got to Mount Sinai, that's when we officially became a people. That's when we became officially a people. That's when Judaism began. Why? Because we accepted the Torah. Until then, we had the tradition of a Torah, but we weren't obligated by all of the rules of the Torah until Mount Sinai. Weren't obligated by all the rules of the Torah. But once we got to Mount Sinai and we accepted the Torah, now we had a new set of rules, and from there, that's where Judaism began. So, Judaism starts at Mount Sinai, when Moses gets the Torah from Hashem and gives it to all of Am Yisrael. That's when Judaism begins. And the first time that the word Jew appears in the Tanakh is in the book of Esther, where Mordechai, he's called Mordechai the Jew. Mordechai the Jew. Obviously, it doesn't say Jew in English. It says Mordechai Yehudi. Yehudi is a Hebrew word, which means Jew. So, in essence, all of the Hebrews, the Israelites, and the Jews are all referring to the same group of people, just in the progress of time and obligation to the Torah. Now, if a person is a Jew or a lover of the Jews, this is sufficient, this is more than enough. If a person is not a Jew, but believes they're a Jew, and in fact they are the so-called true Jews, like the Hebrew Israelites believe that they are, then nothing will suffice other than simply explaining to you that you're wrong, and everything you've been taught is wrong, heretical, man-made, foolish, and the reality is that you are being sold a bag of tricks by a bunch of leaders that are just simply sucking you dry of every ounce of energy and money that you have in order to enrich themselves by, in so many words, enslaving you all over again into a new ideology that will make you feel like you are being empowered by some false belief that someone stole your power. Someone stole your truth. The reality is, Judaism is determined by the Torah. Before Mount Sinai, we were Hebrews and Israelites. Judaism began at Mount Sinai as a result of us accepting the Torah. And all of Am Yisrael had to do the same procedure that somebody that converts to Judaism would have to do today. They had to have a circumcision, they had to accept the Torah laws, and in those days where sacrifice was still permissible, each one of them had to bring a sacrifice. Now, anyone that converts today, if he's a male, he has to have circumcision, he has to accept all of the laws of the Torah, both the written and the oral Torah. Sacrifice they don't do now, but they will have to do it once the Mashiach comes. Okay, meaning it's not canceled, it's just delayed. Now, the Hebrew Israelites, they follow the New Testament. They believe in Jesus, which is an enemy of the Jewish people, which caused more death to Jewish people than anybody else in history. Because obviously the church that has turned the Jews into the enemy wrote in the New Testament that the Jews are the children of Satan, they're the enemies, and so on and so forth. So the point is that the Hebrew Israelites are generally Christians that don't want to be Christians anymore. They want to be Jews or Israelites or Hebrews. It depends which part of the cult they're part of, because even within the Hebrew Israelite so-called movement, they're enemies of each other. And they have different beliefs of each other because it's all man-made. So his opinion is this, his opinion is that. His opinion is to dress like they came out of a Mortal Kombat video game. The other guy's message is to look like rappers and look like people that are part of a rap video. The other guy wants to look like he just came out of Egypt. You know, every one of them it's all man-made. So it gets customized and re-customized every week from week to week. From week to week, it changes. Why? Because it's all man-made. Something that's divine does not change. The Jewish people have been the same exact people since Mount Sinai. We welcome anyone that wants to convert to Judaism. If they want to be a Jew and follow the law, we welcome them. How? They have to follow the Torah, which is they have to convert to Judaism through the process that the Torah says. But if they simply just want to call themselves Hebrews, Israelites, Jews, or they could call themselves Pikachu, they call themselves Mortal Kombat, they could call themselves Megatron, they call themselves whatever they want. But in reality, they're just lying to themselves or being lied to. And unfortunately, it's working because millions and millions of people are being fooled. And the ultimate evil comes from the leaders that are taking advantage of people's ignorance and yearning for some type of hope, and their hope is that perhaps if they are given back what was stolen from them, which they don't even know what was stolen from them, but they call it their identity. How could somebody steal your identity? I'm not sure. I mean, you can go to the Department of Motor Vehicles and just get yourself a new identity. It probably costs like $30-40, but you could probably get a new one. If you're talking about your Jewish identity, if you're really Jewish, no one can take your identity. That's who you are. Even if somebody calls you not Jewish or somebody calls you a lion, that wouldn't change anything. Like if you called me a monkey or you called me a lion or you called me whatever you called me, that wouldn't change my status. Why? I am what I am. The fact that your leaders are telling you that someone stole your identity is just simply to put some type of spiritual poison in your mind to make you feel like you are a victim, but use that victimhood ideology in order to empower you to categorize the enemy. And therefore, that's it. Now you have the motivation to hate. This is no different than any other type of anti-Semitism. This is no different than Nazi Germany. This is no different than how white people hate black people and how the Pakistanis hate the Hindus and the Hindus hate the Pakistanis. And this is the same thing as the hatred between any other thing, only this time It is hating the wrong people. You're hating the people that God says, these are my firstborn children. These are my chosen people. You're hating them. And unfortunately, God says, those who curse you, I will curse them. Those who bless you, I will bless them. So unless you're blind, you're probably not seeing any blessings. Not in your community, not in your neighborhood, not in your life, so long as you hate. Who are those that are seeing blessings? Only those that love the Jews. Only those that love the Jews. Why? And I'm not talking about just any Jew. I'm talking about Jews that are following the Torah. Following the Torah. So if you are the first, then you have an answer. If you are the latter, you also have the answer.
First of all, I was raised on an island in Haiti. My family, although they were Christians, they wanted to exclude themselves from Christianity, but by the same token, they were still Christians, still believe in Jesus and things like that, so forth and so on. You think you're smart, or people believe you're smart, people are telling you you're smart, you're intelligent, so forth and so on. We started going to church, and we started keeping Torah as much as we could. I was in the process of conversion. It's hard. You don't want to let go, but realizing it's not working.
You're getting guidance from the rabbi. You converted.
Baruch Hashem, yes, especially with Rav's support, because he was always there. Every time we had to go to the Bedin, he was there and he was pushing. It's not easy to do Teshuva, especially for things like that. It's possible. If I've done it, anybody else. So, of course, you're going to find resistance. You're going to find all kind of, pushback, but keep going. You feel so proud, so good about what you've accomplished, and then there's nothing. You feel like there's no stopping you. So it's gonna be hard. Yes, there's gonna be all kind of things your way, but don't stop. Do your best. Try every day. Wake up. Do everything you have to do. Everything that the Torah suggests you do. You try your best. Hashem give you help, and you'll definitely succeed.